Man, oh man, here we go again, guys. I should have said, here's Lieutenant Dan with this drill instructor haircut of mine. The girls were tired of my hair, so I lopped it off. Then I got home yesterday and they were like, that's too short. Hey, you know, you can't be choosy, okay?
Cut's a cut.
A cut's a cut. No, that's because I kept running hot, overheating out here. So I put a new thermostat in and we're gonna see if I can keep cool. That's what we're doing here. Now, also what we're doing here, we are cleaning up this week, guys. I know we've been giving it hell out here, and last week we got this side pretty clean. We got inside the tool room moderately clean, and this side we didn't get hardly clean at all. It's gonna be our metal fab side. Now, speaking of metal fab, I've got Slick 50 here. These couple of sheets are his, and we're gonna cut them where he can handle it at his place. And then I'm gonna have him help me get the top secret project over there out of here. Top secret, like 3 people seen the front end and already identified it. Shh, y'all quit saying what it is in the comments, dang it. That don't make it top secret, okay? But we're gonna knock that out real quick where he can get to his rat killing, and we ain't holding him up no more than what we have to. So first thing we're doing, well, we're slicing some metal right on the trailer. Let's set the trailer on fire. I feel like a super villain every time I put this sucker on. Change her settings a little bit. Let's see if she does a little better here.
Sound like a jetty.
That right there is actually a really good way to treat your wood. You just burn it, okay? Where then water and stuff don't get to it or mess it up. Slick didn't want to cut up this little bit thinner stuff. It ain't so heavy, a little easier to manhandle. So we just installed him a nice spoiler back here where he can keep the hind end of the Silverado down as he tracks back to his shop.
Ready for Daytona.
Daytona edition, right here, baby. That gets old Slicky Poo his metal. But before he's allowed to leave, we're gonna get this truck out of here, which means I need to get the old Datsun out the way. I forgot, at one point I may have stole a little something off this for a little something else. Pretty sure it's missing some fuel line and a fuel filter, and that's desperate. Robbing off this. Yep, no big deal. I got the crap out here now, so we got supplies here. Got some 5/16 right there. That's the fuel filter right there. And boom, baby, some hose clamps ready to go. That's a little stubby piece there. Now, I told y'all not too long ago that I wanted to build a vehicle with some paint on it. So, I'm not saying there's a special little vehicle that needed a fuel filter and some fuel line, but there may have been one that it had to have it, and I'm just gonna say that. This thing's too pretty to drive. Interior's too nice, and so I gotta move it this morning before I get plumb filthy here. I really need to spend a week on, well, not just on this, but need to fix a few details on this, a few things on the Yeehaw. I could spend a week on the box truck Mafia. She ain't cranked in a minute, but once we get fuel to her, she's gonna bust right off. You believe in her or what? Yeah. There was a look of doubt. I seen it. Not this little cranking champion. This thing cranks like a chihuahua yaps. It just gets after it. Getting fuel yet?
Yeah. Holy exhaust leak.
Did you see the fuel leak? As soon as she fired up, between here I seen fuel shoot out. So is it from this? Or did my custom little return line break? Have not put fuel in this thing since we drove it back from Dallas. separated from the exhaust. She's full open header. That's right, you can hear all 39 horsepower. Bucket list mini truck. She's out of here. Slick had help me get that. We got her tarped up down there in the top. That's top grade. Okay, high end. That's what I was looking for. High end parking of puddins. You pull it, pick them parts. It's the top tier parking of our junkyard area, guys, underneath the carport. Now, speaking of underneath, I'd like to get some of our scrap metal underneath here. I think this is a good area for it. And I kind of stared at it. I stared at that wall and maybe this wall, and I was deciding where's our best bet. What's our best bet here for keeping it looking decent, getting it up out the way? And I think right there's where we're gonna have to play. So let's get our tape measure. Not that we should need it to go do some looking. I've got a piece of material in mind. You name the material? Well, we pretty well have it. I did not think about having these metal racks here though. We could just put up one of them right there, but my plan was to also put the press there. Let's go measure one of them bad mamma jammas, and we'll just know if I'm gonna like that or not real quick. She's only about 6 foot long. Plan on cutting her metal 10 foot long. I know 4 foot could hang off, and that would be good for holding all the little odds and ends, but then that rack would pretty well take up that whole area, and that's not my mission here. My goal is to be able to put metal there and a lot of other goodies. So take a choosing on material, because we got plenty to choose from. I'm looking for some C channel. I'm looking for this stuff right here. We're gonna use these as our main drops, and yeah, let's just go start cutting some metal, and I'll show you what I'm thinking up here. Hi-ho, hi-ho. With this new haircut, I got good airflow. Yep. For this particular job, we're gonna bring in the Evolution cutting saw, because it don't mess around. Play no games, it does not. So let's say we want to go, I don't know, I'd like some clearance above it, 70 inches. We're going off our platform there. So over here, if we go 70 inches, we're basically going right in there. So over here, 70 inches, okay. Right in there was 70. Shoot, we could drop down 40 inches if we wanted. Let's go 3 foot. So we need to cut 4 of these in 3 foot pieces. Boot the boot, scoot boogie. Hey, Puddin', I'm tired of seeing shop videos when you go do fabrication right now, okay? How you want me to fabricate, as I ain't got none of my fabricating stuff set up, huh? You want me to pull a fabrication shop out my hind end? No, I can't do it, guys. We gotta get her set up. So enjoy some fabrication that y'all dearly love. Guys, I just like being ornery people. I know 90% of y'all's enjoying these shop videos, and I appreciate y'all watching these. Getting to set up the shop exactly how I want it is freaking awesome. We don't gotta rush nothing. We just get to make it right, and that's good by me. Now these may just be scrap metal racks or whatever, but that end is whoopie-dooed and not square one bit. So I'm gonna lop it off where we got a nice fresh start. Then we're gonna start going in 3 foot sections. Slice through that baby like butter. Go! Drill Sergeant Puddin' says, get your helmet back on, soldier. But sir, my head's too damn big. Well, you better make it fit before I make this boat fit somewhere. My dad used to call me Gomer Pyle. Thanks, Dad. How can that thing just go through that thick C-channel? 5 inch, I do believe, C-channel, 1/4 inch thick worth. Like nothing, guys. Blows my mind every time I use this saw. I'm not paid, I'm not endorsed. In fact, a family sent this out to me, subscribers. Thank you guys, because man, I love this thing. Sir Mordecai's got him one. He's like, dude, I don't know why I didn't get one of them sooner. Again, I'm not paid. I was made a believer of this thing thanks to a generous family who sent it to me a couple years ago, And I'm just encouraging y'all, if you do a lot of metal cutting, especially on like straight pieces and sticks and stuff, that right there's your friend. It's your buddy, old pal. Guys, I'm full of energy. I don't know if it has to do with me drinking that drink this morning that's supposed to give you energy, or if it has to do with me cutting my hair. My hair was holding me back, all right? Maybe that's why I've been slacking my energy levels. That hair's holding me down. All right, there are 4 pieces of metal, or downrights or uprights. Depends on how you want to look at it. If you're tall or if you're short, you know. Now hanging off these, we're gonna need little stubbies. We do not have enough material here to stub a lub what we need to stub a lub. So we're gonna have to get a little more material to give a little love of love, a little love of love. Now I'm electing to use this C-channel, 1 because it's heavy duty, 2 because it's got a booty. I'm just playing, it ain't got a butt on it. I just never used the crap because that's good for like shop stuff, but it don't really relate to vehicle stuff, in my opinion. So yeah, perfect opportunity to use it. I think I got some smaller stuff out here, 3.5 to 4 inch-ish. I'll be right back. Time. Some guys from Fisk Company probably think of what my dad was thinking. What the hell's Gomer Pyle doing? All right, straight to business on this. We need to decide how long we want these. And to do that, we may have to measure our material here and see how much we got to work with. That ain't good. I didn't think we got 10 foot here. I was thinking we would stub out 4 12-inch pieces off of each one. Now we could shorten up our 12-inch. Hey yo, we may have, I think that's some of the same stuff right there. That may save us. Yeah, baby. She's got a little bow in her or whatever, but don't worry about that. We don't mind stuff a little kinky. I had another joke about Looby Dooby, but I'm just gonna, you know what, I'm gonna quit there when I'm ahead. 3 inch, 3 inch. That's good. Let's go for 10-inch pieces. 4 on each one, and we got 4 of them, so we need a total of 16 of them puppies. Five, 10, 15, 17. Oh, see there? I'm an overachiever. 1 extra. A little extra pinch to grow an inch. Now that gets us cut to length, and I'm okay with our ends being squared. But we do need some type of angle to this. So we're gonna have to angle cut the ends of these now. It's like we get to do the whole process again. My favorite. Be free! Oh yeah, I knew having that slope over there would come in handy. This is why we're not really fabbing, because we got crap everywhere. We got crap here, we got crap there. Hey Puddin', where's the crap? It's everywhere! To figure out our angle, I'm just gonna kind of sit up there and look and see where I kind of like it. Say kind of right there-ish. Actually, I think we'll do it with the flat side facing down. That'll look better. So I'm gonna say right there-ish. I'm gonna just kind of match our blade up to that and lock it down. And that right there is what we're gonna get. Following this line here, which is gonna come roughly an 1/8 inch over from this corner piece. So I just know that's where we need to put each and every one in there. We could probably figure out some stops so every time we went in there we hit a certain limit, but I don't think that'd be necessary. Oh, actually, you know what we can do? This is covered in Looby Dooby. This end down here is not. So if we put us a pretty good line right there, we can mark this sucker out, and now we know every time we load our piece in here to match up that corner, should be pretty close. Now we get to do another fun 16 of these. 17, overachiever. Now before we plumb go for it, we just want to eyeball this one, make sure we're happy with that. And yeah, I think we'll be a-okay. Better to verify on one instead of doing 16 of them and then being like, yeah, that was a bad idea. Let's see here, about 12 minutes to go through all of them. Guys, that ain't bad. That saw just gets after it. Oh, Rupert, give me my broom, please. Thank you, Rupert. We don't want to clean it up too much. We still got plenty of mess to make. I lined up this end perfectly. And I'm gonna put a star on all these, and I'm gonna know this is our top side. Because the next thing we're gonna do is decide how often we're gonna place these down through there. Just kind of stack them to see how they kind of look good, and we can just kind of check. That one's roughly 8.5. That is 7. That is 8.5-ish. So that right there is roughly every 8 inches, and I think that's a plan of attack. Now when that bottom one will roll up, well, it needs to all go that way, about 1/4 inch. Yeah, don't worry about that. We can weld it on the bottom side if we need to. What I'm trying to do here is figure out how much metal we got to clean up for welding purposes. Ain't got to be exact. We just ain't cleaning up all this. We're going to leave her a little rusty and trusty. We're going to have a lot of work into creating just metal racks, guys. But the time spent is worth it, because you really just want your metal, especially your nicer metal, 1, thrown outside getting rusty and crusty, or 2, do you just want it thrown on the ground in your way? No, you do not. Or no, I do not. Maybe you do. But let's do a little cleanup work. You know, it's funner than doing 4 of these in 4 different spots, doing 16 of these in their own spots. Flap attack, do it again. All right, we got our pieces cleaned up. You may have noticed I cleaned it on 3 sides. Outside, a little bit on the inside. I figure 3 welds will be good enough to do what we're doing, which is just holding a little metal up there. If it don't hold, we would have always thought it should have. And let's grab our marking devices, because we got a little more figuring to do. Now we're 36 inches, so I'm gonna work my way up from that away. I'll give us a mark here. We're starting from the bottom going up. That's 8 inches. Then we go to 20, that's 8 inches. We go to 12, that's 8 inches. And we use the very bottom over here as 1. And whatever that spaces it out, that's what we're gonna take. That's what we'll use. Now this is 4-inch C-channel, not 5-inch. My eagle eye may be a little off today. Don't worry about that. It's got us this far. That's 3-inch. So to center up on this, we're gonna need to come in 1/2 inch on each side. So as I have this on here, and I mark us a straight line across there, also gonna mark in 1/2 inch from each edge here, where we know where to line up our C-channel. Ooh, I can hear them testing the tornado sirens off in the distance. Come down here to the bottom where we can get our 1/2 inch marks. Now let me see how easily we can line up one of these. See if she lines up easy. Yeah, we put it along with that. We may just put a tack on the bottom, or we can tack it there. It'd really be easy if we connected all these lines. That's a lot of lines. I'm gonna make it real easy and just play connect the dots here. That'll make it real easy. Well, they're testing all the sirens around here. Okay, put some straight lines going that way. Now we know exactly where to set that C-channel and where to tack it, weld it up, whatever. Now, I don't know what I did to deserve it, but I do actually have a slight breeze through over here. So I'm gonna close that door, because the breeze feels good, but it ain't good when you need shielding gas for welding. Y'all know what we're gonna do now, just like Mike Tyson in his prime, baby. We're just gonna knock these out. I haven't even looked at our gauge, but I just feel like we're gonna run out of gas today and we'll have to go get some. That's usually what happens when stuff's going good otherwise. The stuff's been going really good, so something's gotta go wrong. I'm a little rusty on my welding, guys. I actually ain't welded in a minute, and I ain't quite dialed in. Sometimes going too slow. I could probably bump the heat up a little bit. Here's some tips and tricks for you. One, you noticed on something like this, now, you know, whatever can help you may apply to different situations depending on what you're building. The inside weld, I don't really care how ugly it is because you can never see it. But those, if you want them pretty, we're gonna set that piece in place and we're just gonna go ahead and weld the inside to tack it, hold it, weld that. And if that weld's a little ugly and it's a little cold, or you're just getting your heat in there and it spatters a little bit or whatever, who really cares? You're not gonna see it. Now, I did that and put a pretty decent weld there and went down through there and got them all. And then that let preheat get into our metal there. So then when I went back for these ones that maybe we want them to look a little nicer because you may see them, I do have the welder turned down a little bit. I may bump it up a little bit more. But if you can get preheat in metal, then you can run your welder a little colder. Sometimes you can get pretty welds. And I'm not saying they're bad welds because you got the preheat in there. Someone's gonna critique it and be like, you want all the heat you want, you gotta have max penetration. But it depends on what you're doing, guys. We're not building a skyscraper, okay? We're building racks that these are definitely gonna hold all the metal we want on there. If we want it pretty, we can try to make it pretty. Also for pretty welds, controlled welds on my welder, I like to run 30 thousandths wire, okay? 35 thousandths, it's gonna fill that up a little quicker. You're moving probably a little faster. I just have better control with 30 thousandths, so that's what I've always ran. These don't look bad. Like I said, a little cold. I'm gonna bump her up a hair and we're gonna try again. All right, that's probably a little better. Definitely got a little more heat in her. Not so, I don't know, kind of spaced out like I was doing. Maybe it's a little better. Maybe it ain't. I am definitely rusty on my weld game. I'll show you kind of the pattern I'm doing. If I could find a marker. Let's see here. Let's say this is our corner joint here. I kind of weld along here. And then I do a variation of the lowercase cursive E everyone talks about. I kind of swoop back like that. But then when I come right here, I kind of pull pretty straight down in the root. And then I'll lowercase e again. Then as I come back, I kind of pull straight. And then lowercase e again. Pull straight, lowercase e again. And that's the motion I'm doing. And you can kind of tweak on that lowercase e. But if you want to do the stacked dime kind of look, that right there's that's what you do. You play with variations of the lowercase e. And sometimes it works better than others. Welded these suckers out. Never really got the welding looking exactly how I wanted it. It looks all right. Good enough for some scrap metal racks and the old scrap metal in the scrap metal corner. Next up for doing some mounting, what we're gonna do, mounting this, not like the big hills or whatever. And we're gonna mark center, which is 2 inches in a couple places. Then I put that square right there and we mark that. And then I give us a mark at 1 inch, at 2 1/4, and at 3 1/2. Then we're gonna take that spring-loaded punch and we punch those where we can drill them. We're drilling 3 holes here, obviously, because we marked out 3 marks. Why would we not drill 3 holes? 2 of these babies we're gonna put lags through, probably a 3/8 lag, and then 1 little smaller one here in the center. And that's just so when we go to mount them, I can just put a regular old like wood screw in there to kind of hold it, where then when we go to lag it, I've got both hands ready for full lagging action. You give it that old Harbor Freight special and one of them down through there kind of gets burned up or it ain't one that cut as good, don't worry about that. Couple whirly twirlies and around the world, you can usually skip through to the next one and then whoop, right through like butter she goes. On my man, I'm just gonna do a little stripping. Y'all can barely see, but I pert near lost my sleeves there. Luckily, they came down just enough where I can get them. All right, got our ladder here. Next, I've got to calculate how often we're gonna put these up there, because I got to put them even spacing, because if they're not evenly spaced, they're gonna drive me crazy. All right, I came 2 inches down from the top, and then from each end, I went over 2.5 inches, and then 6.5 inches, because those are 4 inches wide. Gave me some marks. So that gets us our 2 end ones. Now we've got to figure out how to do our middle ones. Also, I did not plan on dropping them down. However, that one, if I went up the last few inches, that top one would pretty much become worthless. Because that area to slide middle would get really tiny. So I'm okay with it being like that. Measured across there and we're right at a $102, 102 inches. So we take 102 divided by 3. We're gonna get 34 inches, except our pieces are 4 inches wide. So we want to divide that by 2 to split the difference on it. So we need to take off 2 inches from that. So if we go from that edge over 32 inches, then we got our 4 inches. Then we go 32 inches, we got our 4 inches. We should end up roughly pretty close to the 32-ish inches. I'm gonna do one from this side and one from that side, and then whatever the difference is will kind of be in the middle, and it'll probably be harder to see. Did that make sense? I don't know. But we're gonna go for it. They're not level yet, but there's our mock-up. Yeah, that's close enough. We got about 31.5 between there, and we've got a little over 31 between there. I'm not gonna nitpick the little crap, guys. Just looking right here, it looks pretty good. We need to put our level on it and check it before we sink lags in it. But more importantly, before we sink lags in it, well, we gotta get lags. That's right, I ain't got any. Whipped to town, got me some lags. Don't worry, I ain't forgot how to get to the taco boy. I managed to find it too. Oh, there's my level. So we're gonna put this on here, we're gonna check it. And some of y'all say that's checking it for plum, but that ain't a plum, guys. Plums you get at the market. You get them at the grocery store, they're purple, and if they're tasty, you buy them and you eat them. So we're gonna get that bubble happy. Then I'm gonna go sink 2 of these in there and hopefully not split our joist, because that joist is about to do all the holding. Oh, that sounded pretty solid. All right, I do like that. Now we just gotta repeat on all 4 of them. D-U-N. She's done. And my, oh my, must I say, them little racks, they look pretty good right there. Yep. The more I look at them, the more I like them. They're done as far as building them, and installing them's done, but we're not done till we get metal on our racks. Put in, just get back to fabrication. Just leave all your metal on your trailer and start building something. Do not set up shop. Just get in there and fabricate. Damn it. Okay, I'll get over here and work on my trailer some more. That way we can burn off the whole thing instead of just the middle part. Now we got some shorter scrap up here that we're gonna address later, but primarily we're worried about these full 20-foot sticks. Some of this on the bottom side is already cut to 10 foot. It is very rare I ever need anything longer than 10 foot. So the stuff that's 20 foot, whoop, we're about to lop it in half. That way we can start fitting it up over there on our racks. If you don't get back to fabricating, I'm gonna unsubscribe. So this is about to be a fun process. This is about to be the process of elimination. where we're gonna just start eliminating these pieces by cutting them in half and taking them over there, or at least cutting them in half here. Well, that's good. Well, I have to kind of pay attention here. I knew this was going to overhang this way, but I just don't want it where it's going to hit most people's heads. So unless you're probably about like 6'5" or 6'6", you probably ain't got too much to worry about. You don't want to stand there and jump though, you'll know it. Pretty sure that's the piece I just cut in half. Someone may have read a tape measure backwards, because that one's short and that one's long. Oopsie daisy. We just pretend we didn't see that, okay? You didn't see nothing. Whoa! I got a lot of metal, and this is floppy metal. Alright, I think that's that for that one. 4 pieces a 1/4 inch and then 4 pieces a 1/8 inch. So that'd be like having an 1.5 inch thick just piece of solid bar across there. Yeah, that's quite a bit of metal. And guys, I'm gonna just keep taking this up and filling it up. I think we need some dividers. Cut us 3 of these, roughly 4.5 inches long scrap, 3/8. Yep, round rod. Little bevel on our end because we don't want that sticking up with a sharp edge. I'm gonna just try to set these down in there and weld them to our C channel. Probably should have thought of this when it was over here and easy, you know, but we don't want to do everything easy. Now luckily we got the big hunkin' mama extension cord of 220 of death. And with that, we can practically weld anywhere we want from here, probably to the gate. That cord's so damn long. So, I don't know. We're probably just going to eagle eye it for getting it kind of vertical, guys, as far as our up and down. I'm going to try to, well, I guess I could put them on the back side even, and that'd look all right. So I'll measure off of that, back up, and then I'll figure out how to mark it. Yeah, don't worry, I'll get it. Grind off our rusty, dusty metal. Mark from the bottom out 2.5 inches. I got a little intense on that, didn't I? Like saying 2.5 inches is personal or something. Next, I'm gonna take my angle finder. Now we can use that to mark that, making sure we're intersecting our mark down there out 2.5 inches. And knowing that right there, we should be able to be consistent all the way down through. So next we take our piece, we'll put it up like that, little welding action, and we'll have us a little nubby. And in fact, I think this is gonna work so good, I might just go ahead and mark us out another one. So we're gonna weld on 2 nubbies. I might as well make it 3 nubbies. I just don't know if I got that much round rod. I like that. Major Payne said 1 tubby.
You know what? I'm gonna help you make room for lunch, bacon boy. Drop down, get me 30 sit-ups right now. 1 tubby.
Puddin' said 3 nubby. Those look pretty good. Not being too picky, picked them up about 1/2 inch from the bottom. Now I get to do 3, 6, 9 more. Added our nubbies down through there. In the middle here, I swapped to the inside because I knew I couldn't get to that back side. And yeah, now we got some nice dividers on that row. Got some dividers on that row ready to go. First up, 2-inch wide, 1/8 inch thick strap. And then we got a butt ton of smaller stuff, 1 inch. There may even be some 3/4, I don't know. It's all close enough, we can group it together. That looks so much better, guys. Being able to space that all out instead of just jumble all that together. Now we can separate all that quite easily. And for the most part, we can start to see our trailer. We're gonna have to address all the little odds and ends. All this square tubing, we're gonna put some of it on that top rack, but I think we're gonna make some dividers for this bottom rack. Just split it about in half and set some of it down here too. Nubs, guys, we got more nubs. I added them on the bottom one, that one. We just split them in half. Let's load these puppies up. All right, guys, check that out. Really, I shouldn't have done halfway on our nubbies because it's a really bad spot. I can't stack a whole lot on that side because we're gonna run out of edge. But they worked nice for filling up that side with some square tubing, which holds that plate from falling back that way. So that's okay. With the ladder, all of that is easy to pick and sort through. Most of them pieces, if we need a piece, we should be able to grab it from this end and pull straight out and get what we need. So it may not seem like we got much done so far, but that right there I'm gonna call a big success. We're gonna go cut us some base trim down there. We need 61 inches. That's what you want right there. That'll give you some nice custom scratches on it. And them scratches will really accent how our wall's just white, which is beautiful. Got lucky and found a couple of our old ones that the heads are already painted black. I'll probably slap a little bit of our silicone along there up that corner joint and then come down this way. I forgot how to use a caulking gun since last week, which is good. Well, don't worry. I remembered in like the last 3 foot in the corner no one will ever see. But up here where everyone will see, yeah, laid down some bubble gum caulk. We got soccer practice at 5:30, which means we need to leave here in like 20 minutes. Hot Rod come over here and got on to me because I ain't made a soccer practice yet with the move going on and everything. I still don't know exactly what's going right here. I'd feel a lot better if I at least had a pretty solid game plan of what all I was gonna try to fit here tomorrow. So, refrigerator, I really ain't got a clue where I want to put it. Maybe we'll take it up against that corner. Our sink, I think, has to go against the back wall. Shoot, we may be able to kill 2 birds, 1 stone, see what I mean? That's why you gotta just move stuff around sometimes. The sink is not being plumbed in right now, but whatever we do, I wanna account for it right now so then in the future we're not, you know, doing the mambo jumbo mess that we're doing right now. Oh baby, that is definitely gonna fit. We'll have plenty of clearance for here. Yeah, we'll even have clearance between there. We'll be able to center that fridge up some. Wow! I thought we were gonna have to put the sink, then the fridge, but I like that. Real quick, I'm gonna pop our cover on. I'd actually planned on painting all these covers black and then doing our trim rings black, but instead I decided to swap the outlets out for black outlets. This could be our silver, galvanized, whatever, and then the black trim ring, and I think that's gonna look good. Don't put your outlet covers on or nothing. Just start fabricating, okay? We want to see a car build. Just fabricate. Give a damn if you get shocked, okay? Get your crap together, Bob Vila. Fixing crap that shouldn't need fixing. That thing is just plumb whooping me. I don't know if y'all can hear all the birds outside, but the crows were just having a caw fest. Now some other birds joined in, and I don't know why, but guys, birds yapping goes right through me. I actually absolutely hate it. I think I got it. Put a little polish on our trim ring, a little spit shine. Yeah, it looks all right. I don't absolutely love it, but I don't absolutely hate it. We're kind of in between. I'll take it. Let's plug that back in. Good thing is when we use that little isolating tool or a little reciprocating saw, all the dust fell down in our wet silicone. Perfect. Shove her back in our little nook and cranny. And I think right there's a good place to quit. One, I'm gonna go to soccer practice so I don't disappoint Hot Rod. But two, them birds piss me off, okay? So now I'm irritable. When I'm irritable, I do dumb things like put sawdust in my fresh silicone. So, good time to call it quits. So these welding tables, they're modular. Got them from Langmeyer Systems, who make my plasma table, bench table, the plasma table that I never used to cut with.
It's a hammer table, a hammer holder table.
Yeah, she holds a mean hammer. So last year around Christmas time, Langmeyer Systems had put these puppies on sale, and I squeezed the trigger and got some of them. There you can see they're a cast table, and then they're machined out, so no putting this sucker together, welding it out. This is not paid advertisement for them neither, but it's cheaper than some of them weld together kits, so why weld it together whenever you can buy it in one solid chunk. These tables are 2x3, and you can configure them, like I said, however you want. You could keep stacking them, adding them. This could be a little tricky. We got to get them perfect, but I think we're going to take, I got 4 of them. So if we just stack them in a rectangle, we'll have a 4x6 welding table, which is pretty decent size. So that's what we're going to try to do here.
Oh, well.
Good. We should have had the camera going a minute ago. We were just unboxing those. We about played dominoes, a very loud and expensive game of dominoes. Now you order their tops from them, then you can order the leg kits, however many different kits you want. Obviously the amount of legs you need depends on how you plan to configure yours. I thought about at one point doing this kind of in like a L shape, but anyhow, I got 2 leg kits, it looks like. So for bolting these together, guys, this is kind of goofy thing. I ordered the proper bolts. I don't know we're going to use them. There's some type of bolt with O-rings, and you bolt it together. Then you put some type of sealant in there that seals it up, so then when you tighten up your bolts, those don't shift and move. And yeah, I ordered them. I don't think we're going to use them. We'll go get some hardware if we have to. So being how we're from Pot County and we know better than engineers, we're just gonna lay down one of these, then we're gonna put, this is should be pretty true surface. So we're gonna build 2 of them off of this and get them as close as we can. All right, see? Got to be smarter than the liquid bolts. Let me show you these things. They want you to put that in there. Then you can see where like O-rings sit, and you get a nut started on each side. Then you goop it full of some type of sealant. I don't remember what they said. The sealant's gonna shove those around and line them up. Then after that sealant sets up, then you can torque these or something. We got C-clamps, an eagle eye, and a welder, damn it. We can clamp it together, obviously, so as long as we get something that clamps one of the edges to square it up, we should be good in my mind. All right, there's a good squaring edge. Scrap pile for the win again. Hey, speaking of scrap pile, Slick seen my metal racks and he said they look good. Got Slick's approval, so that's all that matters. We're gonna hit her with some Get Gone degreaser. because this side is kind of floating around a little bit. That table's laying nice and flat on that one, but that one's got a little rock and bounce in her. That table's definitely out of square.
You gonna try this one?
They're all a little out. Perfect. That's a lot better. I just wanted a good table. Might as well buy the you weld it kit. That way when it's crooked and uneven, that's on you.
Your fault.
Instead of the company you bought it from. Be sure to check your crooked table with your crooked level. There ain't no anything obvious. I just shoved that right there in the middle and kind of got it lined up, slick clamped on the back side. So now we're gonna shove it up here, get it where it's looking pretty good, and we'll clamp it towards the top. Tap that one back that way just a hair. This has been our best luck so far. We clamped the middle with it perfect. Clamped that. That one we just gave a couple left taps till it was matching pretty good down there. We've established we know these tables ain't perfect. They can't be. But this has been our best go around so far of getting it, you know, matching or whatever. Well, if that's, and we're laying flat there, but then that ain't flat.
Not satisfied. You can either have the side level or you can have the top level.
Can't have both. That's good. That way all of our things here get out side to side, you know, perfect. If these tables are even half close to true and you lay one down, guys, it should not matter if that thing rocks side to side, front, back, whatever. This is not going to change from our uneven concrete. This is supposed to be our true platform. If those tables are then true laid on that, and these tables are machine true, you should not have a 1/16 going on an 1/8 inch gap right there. That's why they sell the split the difference bolts. You put them babies in there loose, fill them full of goop. It's gonna split the difference. So looks like just go find us some matching couple pieces here to be able to build off of. No big deal. Yeah, matching what? I ain't got matching nothing. Grab 2 pieces of this I-beam real quick by myself, I guess. Brought the little stuff. Nice little morning workout action. My favorite. Hopefully this is the same size I-beam. What you laughing at? My workout? My grandma power walk through the mall? Here at Puddins CrossFit. Only thing CrossFitting around here is these uneven out of square tables. They're CrossFit. We're gonna elevate that where we can bolt this to that. We have to be able to get underneath there.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
You ready?
Why is it so heavy?
We gotta do teamwork. Guys, we're trying everything we can to make this table as good as we can. With these tightened down, bolted to this, we still got a crazy edge up here. Not to be pointing fingers at the tables or nothing, but if both of these are bolted down to this, and right there, you've got it pert near touching, and right there, you got big enough gap to cast a shadow, well, there's something different on these tables. I've pretty much come to terms with we're gonna be splitting some differences and just doing the best we can. In fact, what we're probably gonna have to end up doing is whichever side stays flat, that's gonna be our good edge. And then we'll have to make another one with a good edge. And then the 2 good edges will have to butt up, and we'll have a bunch of bad edges around the outside, but inside will be as good as possible. Before we try that, we're gonna unbolt this one, and we're gonna try to flip her a $1.80 to see if that splits any differences to favor us. Just fabricate real quick, Puddin'. Quit setting up your shop. Just do it on them crooked tables of yours. We flipped her, we checked her, we leveled her. Guys, we're just splitting all the differences that we can. We got that looking nice and it carries through. I mean, that's pretty flat. This right here, I'd say, yeah, our gap's pretty well the same. Tables just ain't perfect, that's the bottom line. So what's important here is we just make sure we know this is gonna be our outside. We don't want to face this to the center whenever we go to put the two pieces together. Loctite 263 thread locker. We need this because we just went and bought a whole box of bolts, a couple boxes of washers, nuts. We started threading them here and I realized we didn't get nothing that locks. We didn't get lock washers, we didn't get locking nuts. We know if I don't put something on there, Mortski's gonna shed a tear or 12. So we're gonna at least go with some Loctite on them. You've met Mortski. He needs a hug, don't he?
Yeah, poor guy's always sad.
A dab will do ya. So what's gonna be tricky about doing this is, as we tighten some, we just wanna continue to check it on the back side because you will shift stuff if you're not careful. So we probably wanna get them all snug where they're all kinda holding, and then probably go another round of tightening, and then like another round of tightening, and I think that's our best bet here. Just tighten them up real quick and we'll edit through that and they won't know. It can be crooked, they won't know. We were gonna weld that, but I was hoping these were cast steel and they're not, they're cast iron. With cast iron, you need a lot of preheat, you need the proper rod for welding, and even after you weld it, you gotta keep heat on there, you gotta cool properly, and we ain't got time to weld one side up here and wait forever to then try to flip it and weld the other side, and yeah. So bolting is gonna work, hopefully. And it's also if you decide you wanna get some of these unsquare tables, it's probably more relatable to you guys to be able to go grab some bolts from the hardware than fire up your TIG welder or whatever. That's not true. If you're buying a metal fab table, you probably got a welder. We're just gonna shut up and build a crooked table. How's that? Took off our top clamp here, guys, and we're just gonna put another bolt where each of our clamps were. And yeah, we checked it as we went through, and I think it's gonna be as good as we're gonna get it anyhow. I ain't saying it's perfect. Well, we had tightened up all them other ones and we checked it on this side, and I don't think we moved any. So I think our torquing a little more kind of thing worked. So now we get to pick this up off here. We're gonna lay it down and do a whole nother side. And guys, this is kind of taking a lot of time and it don't make the greatest of content, so we're just gonna bang that out. Just some custom washers, baby. Woo! A little workout action, guys. Had to do them custom washers for here. Yeah, you know, consistency is key when building welding tables. Me and Slick both agree that this one was better than that one. It was easier to square up and get everything happy. Where we were happy with it. All them are torqued. The whole method of bolting them like that, I like it a lot better than using the free floating whatever. Those things, I smoked them to Alabama. They shouldn't be moving anytime soon. So we've got two halves, and here's the part where I've got to make a decision. How do we want to put these halves together? Those are 3 foot wide. So if we go 4 of them long at 2 foot a piece, we'll have a 3x8 table, which is going to be longer, which would be good when we're building frame rails for one of the top secret projects over there, sitting that puppy square on the ground. Or we could bed them up and have 4 foot by 6 foot, so you get deeper. I was leaning towards the 4 foot by 6 foot when we first started. Looking at how much that 3 foot is, I think we're gonna go with 3x8 and go for the longer table, because that's long enough to, like I said, a frame rail or something, you could make it work with that 8 footer. And I don't really do a lot of deep stuff. We got by with the old little special over there that's only like 2 foot deep maybe. We did a lot on it, so having that extra foot there, I think we'll be good. 3x8 it is. Decision's been made. I made the hard decision. Now you decide how we're gonna just whip that together real quick. I want to figure out where we're gonna put this, because we're gonna take this crap that away and try to figure out how to, what do you call that? Erect it. I measured between our airline drops, found center. So now we'll go 4 foot that way, 4 foot that way. That'll give us our 8 foot in center to know where to kind of aim for. Or maybe we'll just eagle eye the center of this door where aesthetically it looks center, because those doors are definitely 100% crooked. So here's center. And that just gives us a ballpark place to aim. Got our old mobile welding table here, and I chalked down our wheels. It's got one brake, I did set it. 3, 2, 1. All right, so we got her up. We're gonna figure out how to attach legs. I was only wanting to do 6 legs. So, you know, will 3 hold it? Good enough so we can set up the other one? Maybe we'll find out. These legs adjusters, garbage. Nice and crooked, rink dink, perfect. Exactly what you want your big heavy table on. So let's see if we match that edge up. Pretty good right there.
She's a little off.
She's just a little off on this side instead. Hey, all this is gonna be crooked enough, it's gonna bloop right into place, perfect. So we're gonna tighten down those 3 legs, and this one, I guess we could just put it in there. Hell with it. 8 legs is better than 6, ask a spider.
And we're here, and you have them.
Yeah, and we're here. And we done paid money for these crooked bastards.
What's better than 6 crooked legs?
8 crooked legs. Not as bad. I don't know if y'all noticed or not, but we had our little drinks. We always drink our little hot girl summers. That's the name of the drink, guys. We didn't make it up. We just drank the dang things. Just full of good stuff for you. Yeah, that's a hot girl summer. I'm about to show you how to make a Pot County Pinky. Drink you down some regular old drinking water. Not good for you, but just purify it. Ain't got no goodies in it. We're just gonna take our electrolyte beverage here. Oh, the precision of the pour. There we go. Now we got the Pot County Pinky, aka some electrolyte water. Nice little shake and mix. Much better.
Let's go more this way with it. Probably would have fell and not been any worse level.
Apparently they shorted us a bolt, or we lost one. Slick was on bolt patrol and he didn't lose none. Sons of a bad word, that's how they get you. They short you a bolt.
Table's unlevel, we miss a bolt. Send it back!
Yeah. Everything else will make it work. But you better not short me a damn bolt, okay? I think those are 5/16 and all I got's 1/4 That's it now, short me a bolt. I'm gonna leave them a bad Yelp review. I knew it was too big. All right, you know what they say. 3 wouldn't hold it, 4 never would have. It'll be all right.
This says outside on this side.
We may have just mounted the legs on here on the way that we can't slide it off. I'm just trying to take this side. Professional.
Oh.
What the crap? Oh, the Great Houdini is good. Do you see that? There's 2 bolts, 3, 4, 5. I just made one appear from somewhere.
How? I looked over there, wasn't it?
I don't know what just happened, guys. I legit just did my first magic trick. I took out 4 bolts.
Put them right there.
Put them right there.
Put them back.
Went to put them back, and there's 5. When you're good, you're good. I need to get me a little top hat. Well, that gets them in place, but that don't get them level. So I think the plan of attack will be to level up one of them, like say this one. We adjust the legs on it, we get it where it's happy, side to side, front to back, and then we try to make this one match up to it. So we can already tell this left side needs to come up quite a bit. And front to back, she's pretty close, but the back needs to come up just a hair. So leveling up a table like this ain't too bad, guys. You just gotta pay attention, kind of read it. Don't try to do all your adjustment on one leg, it ain't gonna happen. You get one side to side good, then you realize it needs a front to back, then you try to throw all that in another leg, and it's a delicate little balance. We used to We used to level machines at the factory I worked at the size of this whole shop, and there'd be little legs. And we had levels that I'm not joking. They're them high dollar precision ones that you put a hair underneath the damn thing and it throws it off. And they'd give us a machine the size of this on that crooked concrete floor and be like, get it a level, and give us that spec level, and we'd get it. So if you get frustrated, just stay at it. You gotta get that sucker level. You can see how much it threw us off over here now. You can see, whoop, a little drop off there, but we're reading good front, back, side to side, whatever you want to call it. So now we're gonna try to get this one doing the same thing, but curveball. We got to get it also perfectly flat across there. Fun. F-U-N. We got her pretty level across here, matching the best we could. She's nice and level front to back. I did just notice this whole table needs to go backwards though. Actually, when I was underneath there, I noticed our bolt holes wasn't lined up, and that one's sticking a whole 1/4 inch forward. I may have to shove that one back at 1/8 and pull this one forward at 1/8. Just pulled her out of here. That right there is good. We want to check everything again because we did move it technically. And technically, she still looks pretty dang good. Hitting level at the diagonals across the two crooked tables. Come on.
I see he's tightening that up down there. Check this out. You know this seam over here? Pretty crazy.
Also, you want to check that as you go, because we got it level where I showed you the first time we C-clamped it. And I said, hey, let's check that again before we actually bolt it. And he checked it up there and he said, no, it's off. Doing them 2 C-clamps adjusted it. So we had to take our C-clamps off, get everything happy again. And then I tried our technique where we just put in multiple bolts and slowly snug them down, slowly increasing your torque. And I've got 2 left to like torque, and it's still good to go. So little pro tip for you if you want to buy the crooked tables.
Crooked tables are us.
DUN, that's done. Well, as far as what they sent and what we can do with what they sent, we're done. I think we're going to add some bracing to them legs, because if you take out one of them with something, you're going to drop the whole corner of, yeah, it'd be bad. Some bracing would definitely help us out. Now guys, y'all could tell I was a little frustrated with these tables, and I just thought they'd be a little closer than what they were. Now, nothing's ever going to be perfect. We don't know how many CNC machines they run to make these things, and if one machine's a little different than your other machine, or when they loaded the block, you know, whatever, I don't know. I'm not a CNC operator. We just know they're going to be a little off. Now, we were frustrated as we kind of went, but if I'm being honest, in the end, I'm actually really happy with this. That sucker's nice and smooth. The bolting it technique worked really good. And I think if you're to buy a weld together kit that's roughly close to the same size, and you got to add all the bracings and you got to weld it and everything, you're going to risk having a more of a warped table than what we have this off right here. This thing's pretty close to dead money. And when you start introducing heat to welding tables, it don't matter how slow you are, how much you jump around this or that, warpage is going to happen. Yep. And I think you're more likely to get a warped table from a U-welded kit versus spending the time it just took to do this. In the end, I'm actually happy with it. They're still super affordable compared to the U-welded kits. But thanks to Slick for the help. I think that's definitely a 2-man job. Now I'm gonna start figuring out some bracing for them legs, because yeah, we don't want to bump them with a jack on accident.
Got some spaghetti legs on these tables. For sure.
Yeah, they got the old Bambi legs. There goes old Slick Fitty. All right, guys, I was gonna try to figure out cross bracing, but I keep eyeballing it and I keep changing my mind, and I think we're better off right now just to start situating some of this mess. Like our TIG welder that we know is gonna go over here by our welding table somewhere. That'll get that out the way. Mess, like all this crap right around here. The fire extinguishers, will set them on the table. Don't mind that bulldozer in the background. Yo! Basically what I'm trying to do is get an area of our wall clean, where then we can start to figure out what items to put along what wall. This is basically what we need to do in here. This little funky swirly twirly bracket hook thing Came with the shop. I'd found it in here. She's 36 inches long. So we'll mount that puppy right there. That way it's a pain in the butt to get in here. Now we're thinking. We were all thinking it. I'll say it. Those are too close to each other. If we move that down, that fridge ain't very big. I don't think it looks too bad right there. Definitely want to leave our outlets where we can get to them. We don't want to cover it up. Because if we cover that up, we ain't got power anywhere around here, okay? We need to be able to have some outlets. It ain't like if you go south about 3 foot, there's another outlet or anything, okay? That'll make it where we can move this down, which I think already looks better myself. We may end up building a bracket in the corner or something to hold our bottles, who knows? Before we park the sheet metal brake, I'm gonna hit it with some of our Get Gone degreaser by the Sweet Patiner. All she needs is a quick little spit shine. Shine her up, put her in her corner. That's most definitely not a corner. Y'all know what we need? We need some Datsun wheels and tires to put on our torch cart. That's what we need. Oh, half haul. I remember throwing a bunch of crap in the half haul. Yep, them are the wheels we need to get tires put on. I had the tire shop put these tires on our other bent stillies. And them guys act like they didn't know me because they did not put white walls out, and we definitely need white walls out. I don't even remember what these are off of, but these here would work. She rolls beautifully. Ooh, that's sexy. Get that grandpa saw blade on there to really just help highlight the rust on this car. That's what we needed. Hey, this little hill right here don't look too steep until you sprint that sucker in tow with a jack or some wheels. And you realize that hill's all there. Whew, them outside hill sprints got me. Got me hot. That's okay, it's worth it, because I know I looked really cool doing it. Crap! You know, it's funner than doing it once. Doing it twice. Actually, this is gonna be 3 times. It ain't rolling very good. Well, that's because our tire is rubbing our frame. So I tightened them down to a point that it sucked it over. I don't know, guys, I built this thing forever ago. Now, the tire size is perfect, and that's because since I had the Datsun when I was in high school, I've always ran the same tire size. So when I originally built this, it was for this tire size. So we could take the wheels and tires off the Datsun, off the sausage wagon, any of the factory 14s with a tire, and they would all fit on this height-wise perfectly. Luckily, I just bought a whole box of Pot County spacers. Put them on, stack them deep. Oh, we're clearing, that's good. These 3, we're gonna suck them down until they just barely hit. I think right here would be a good place to put our torch cart, then our welding cart. Now y'all can see them are filthy. I almost need to get water hose that'll stretch like over to here, where I can roll out some of this stuff, pressure wash it, and then put it back in. But for right now, I just want to figure out our layout. I don't know if the internet's ready for some more slow motion power washing. Oh yeah, I'm kind of liking that layout. Now, it's real smart to put the welder down there as our 220s right there, but don't worry about that. I'll go get the press and I'll be right back. Get the press, not get depressed. All right, guys. Again, pressure washer would probably be nice, but we're just gonna give this a quick wipe down. Try to half knock the ugly off of it. Hi-ya! Is that a good place for the press? I don't know. That's where I've been picturing the press since I pictured putting that concrete there. Pretty good place for the press, ain't it? You can say it. You can say it. Uh-huh. I like that. All right, what else were we gonna try to sneak there? I think I might have a cart for our sheet metal. So right now we'll probably just leave as is. Now speaking of sheet metal, down here on the left side of the table, welding table, I was picturing our sheet metal tools. I'm realizing though, if we're gonna put our toolbox up in here as well, that we may run out of room right here. Dang! I ain't no Mark Yearwood, but if y'all didn't know this, I'd done all this pinstriping back in the day, and old P-Tang was throwing down. I know that's a little crooked, but still, them colors are fun. Talk about need a pressure washing. This baby needs a pressure washing. Or at a minimum, a pressure scrubbing. A little scrubbing. Little loving. Feel like I'm catching a second wind here. I think I forgot to finish promoing this stuff earlier, guys. If you want some sweet patina Get Gone degreaser, head on over to sweetpatina.com. Just use the old promo code on the screen. Yep, front of this wall is filling up quick. And that's what I was worried about, is it ain't gonna take long to have this whole wall lined with stuff. Now the problem with turning and going down this wall is this garage door is pert near just even with this wall. So if you have something sticking out here, then you're trying to pull something in, well, you're having to do the jog over, or you can't open a door number or something like that. I had debated and almost convinced myself to close down this door and set up all the metal fab stuff basically wrapped in there, and you could station it around even like the fab table and stuff or something, where we just had a metal fab bay basically, and then you would have two that you could pull vehicles in. And I just don't know, guys, and that's why, well, that's why we're doing this, is to figure this out. Unfortunately, we just move all that crap, and now I'm looking at it still trying to figure this out. And that also don't account for, I'd like to have another table, or other little table for doing some MIG welding on. I'd also like to have something we could set our bench grinder on. So I don't know what we're supposed to be doing here. Yeah, yeah, good thing it rolls. Oh, bring it back forward. Oh, that is full of glass. We may want to be careful. Oh, move it 4 times. Oh, who really cares? Oh. Clearing's clearing, and overspray is overspray. You know what I mean? Right here's the best looking bead roller on all of YouTube. And I don't care what other metal fabbers you watch. You can tell them I said it. I don't care if mine gets used once every 18 months. I could spend 4 hours in here just scrubbing on equipment, and that's only getting that half butt cleaned. Maybe we stick that sucker out like that. Oh! Don't smash the cord.
I'll show it to you. Ah, watch my Fanny's coming through. Watch it. Make room for Fanny.
All right. I was not picturing this sticking out because it sticks out. But with it sticking out, it'll always be ready to use it. But how often do we use it? Every 18 months. We don't establish that. Where I stuck her out though was straight in line with our wall over there. So if you pull something in here and there, this obviously ain't gonna affect it. And it would be nice that if we decided we wanted to use it, we could just come use it. We wouldn't have to fold her out or whatever. Plus, that gives all of that for more sheet metal tooling, while allowing a little space right there if we decide to put our welder right there, or we may go underneath the table. Who knows? Our little English wheel, at some point, we're gonna need to build a base for this. I'll probably do that the next time I need to use it, so probably 24 months. Hey, my pinstriping was pretty good on this one. I knocked down a little symmetrical piece in the corner there, not too shabby. Yeah, I didn't know I knew how to ride a witch's broom, did you? Even better, this is a Kung Fu Master's broom. Get out of there, dust. And sneaking in behind my equipment. Alright, last piece of sheet metal equipment I currently have. I kind of cleaned on it, and yeah, I'd hit some pinstriping on it as well. I have to figure out my lighting. I notice it's kind of whoop-de-dood over here, so I don't know how much that's been ruining our video. Perfect. What the hell? We get a dark streak in the middle. Then we go up there. Are we doing the rave here or what? I have to get me some glow sticks with all these flashing lights. Went around here and put our covers on all of our electrical boxes except this one, because I ain't got the cover for a single switch here. I'm pretty sure we used to have a switch and an outlet in there, so I don't know what in the wire nuts is going on in there. There's a whole lot going on is what it is. So I figured if we'd knock out our covers, we could knock out our air outlets, because I just got them plugged. And look at these couplers I found online. They got the big 1/2-inch thread. That way we're not doing a lot of bushing reducers. Got a nice coupler, guys. You put a hose in that sucker, she locks up nice. Yep. We'll go around here with the old Pike County speed wrench and pull our plugs. Could y'all tell there's a little bit of air in there? That come out and it scared me. And it scared the crap out of me for some reason. The dumbest little thing, I'm usually not a jumpy person. Now, one observation about wanting to kind of use this end of the shop to be our little fab work area if I decide to do that. We don't have a lot of outlets on this wall, which is rather unfortunate. We got one over there, and we just got the one right here. But don't worry, I put plenty of air. Air here, air there. Hell, we got air everywhere. Oh, nice little sit on our Model A frame here. After we get all the plugs out, I'm gonna go around and put all these units in over here. We're generous. Gets 2 of them, just in case we need to air up 2 tires at once. Now I don't feel so bad shoving that back in there, because we got a cover on all that and it's just ready to go. I know y'all's here for the fabrication, okay? We did a little earlier on our metal racks. Well, guess what? I'm tired of being Nancy home decorator over here, and I'm having a hard time picturing what I want where. But what I know what I want where, or where I don't want isn't, I don't think any of that was proper English, was this metal on my trailer still, which is what we started off with doing, was clearing it. And our old trash can here, she's a good trash can to us over the years at the old shop. But guys, that thing's too heavy. I don't enjoy huffing it up, trying to dump it anymore. At the same time, she's part of us, so I don't want to get rid of it. So I got to talking to Slick about it, and he's like, man, y'all just put some of your scraps in there, put some dividers. Well, the problem is, some of them are too tall, or that would be too tall. You put a short piece in there, it's hard to get out. So I think we're gonna cut this sucker down about half of it and cut a piece off, and then add some dividers and stuff. And we're gonna build us a little short scrap storage thing for along this wall over here. So I can kind of picture it in my head, and kind of picturing stuff has gotten me this far in life, so we'll just go for it. Put my square on there between them 2 holes. I'm gonna mark that. I'm gonna put my speed square there, and I'm gonna go down, let's say 3 inches. And 3 inches. And from there, I'm gonna put that edge and let that wrap. And just at the tip there is good enough for me. So I wrap forward there, then I'm going straight down and marking right But this little divot here is where we're gonna intersect. Gotta figure out how to connect that to our mark right there. That's gonna get us pretty close. We're gonna go around here and take off this whole front side to right there. If y'all wanna see me build stuff, by golly, let's build stuff. No, it ain't a car. With enough work and modification, it could be. There goes nothing. Looks like metal storage to me. For a divider in here, we're gonna do a little recycling. In fact, we're gonna measure down our 3.5 inches, which is right underneath our dimple die flare. And this piece is a hair too long for our sheet metal brake, but not much. Yeah, we just need to take some off each end. That's what we need to do. Right at the flare. I'm gonna take my angle finder and kind of check this. Right there-ish. Whatever that is, about $1.43. Breaking this is obviously gonna give us the angle we need, but also it's actually really gonna straighten out this sheet metal that we just stood on to, you know, kind of flatten out. Break that sucker. You kidding me? I did too much, guys. Barely even gave it any. Real precision type work, you know? Man, oh man, I love when a plane comes together. Shove that in there. I need to trim this edge just a little. All right, for just roughly knocking that out, not being overly picky, I'm pretty happy with how that's kind of looking. That gets us to start to step and divide. We could have done it without so much lip, which would have gave us more storage room, but I just thought it'd kind of look cool having a little bit. Plus, we recycled dimple dies, all right? And you never go wrong with a little dimple die action. Now we could definitely use some dividers in there, so I'm gonna just cut this off. Probably cut this in half long ways. Then we can break 2 pieces, and whatever that gives us, we can kind of cut up and put in there, I guess. .23 inches. Center is 11.5. 5 3/4. That will be our center of that piece. And 5 3/4 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got her divvied up into 4ths. To kind of help bring that straight back, we'll just slap our square right there and give us a mark back here. Next, we can take our pieces we folded over, and I'm just gonna kind of roughly set that right there, and then eagle eye where it needs to be cut. And then we'll check our next one. That should get us our first 2 pieces. Yeah, looking good. Hold your breath when welding that crap. All right, guys, I cut us enough pieces and kind of graded them in here, as you can see. That kind of divvies that up quite a bit, actually. 2 bigger ones don't bother me because occasionally we will have bigger scraps of stuff. That worked out pretty good for all being recycled stuff. Now, we've got down here that we got to kind of figure out what we want to do with it. The other day I thought we had used up all of our round rod, but I found some on the trailer. Actually, you know what? We got that 1 inch wide strap, 1/8 inch thick. I've got more of it than this. If we had a piece of it, we could cut it and just basically do what we were doing up here, but just making it out of metal instead of scrap metal. Yeah, that makes sense. We're gonna make it out of metal. Of course we're gonna make it out of metal. That's our Get Metal step stool right there. Look at that. That's already using our metal racks to build more metal racks. We got all the metal rack goodness going. We're gonna do this really precise as well. As in, I'm gonna hold that right there and mark it, and we're gonna stick it in there and weld it. Oh, curveball. That little lip there is getting me because it curves out. Now we ain't got nothing to weld to. So I actually need to angle an end and then angle another end. So this one's already cut wrong, so we'll use it for some of our other grates, and I'm just gonna whip this sucker out. That one was so precise I just marked it with my thumb. Put that across there, guys. I'm gonna cut us a few to go in there, across there, and we'll probably even take some up an angle from there to there. That way we can just always slide in the variety pack, okay? Whatever shorter length of scrap you need, surely it'll fit somewhere. I cut a piece of this, put her in there at an angle, and kind of look down it, and just eagle-eyed the angle I thought we needed, which turns out to be about like so. We'll let that sit at an angle where we can weld. And it touches right there, and one good tack weld there, and some down there. Well, that'll work. We want these kind of lining up where it looks like we did it on purpose. I remembered how we measured out from here, so as long as we find center, right at 22.5, going for 11.25. Then we went 4 inches, and then from there we went 1, 2, 3 inches. No, I just did something wrong. I said the right numbers, but I didn't go the right amount was the problem. There we go. Tack these babies in. Oh yeah, I'm digging that. We could even keep our brooms in there, guys. Now the last thing I'm not going to be terribly happy with is this being a nice sharp edge from us cutting it. So I got some of our filler rod here, not a frog or a filler rod. It's some filler rod for our TIG welder, and I'm going to just kind of tack it around this edge. That way we ain't got a nice sharp edge. I'm going to kind of just shape her a little bit, get her kind of going that way anyhow. That's a lot smoother. We are almost done, guys. I put a couple pieces going down this edge, same process. Now we're done. I'm gonna take that flap attack, and our edges here, they were still kind of sharp. Just where all that sheet metal had met up. And guys, that's pretty damn cool looking. Not bad for recycling an old part of the channel into the new channel. I didn't want to have to pick her up as a trash can anymore. Well, now we ain't gotta. But if we want to bring this right over here and set it here, don't look too bad, don't it? You damn right. Well, let's put this puppy right to work. It's a little toasty, Luckily that same sun that keeps killing this camera and the batteries has just been beating down on that metal over there, getting it nice and hot. That piece is too short. That's all right though, because whatever's too short to fit in there, well, we still have the scrap cabinet right in here. Oh yeah, we can get all that crap out of there. Having it down in the bottom was driving me crazy. We got about one more load worth up the front of the trailer. I'll be right back. Genius, I tell you. Man, that looks good loaded up. We about just randomly guessed, I think, the correct heights. I would have liked to go down on that about 3 inches more, but I didn't want to cut into our white. I kind of like having that lip there. It even adds a little strength, believe it or not. This turned out really cool, guys. It's like when you go to the hardware store or wherever, you know, and they got their little metal supply selling section. Well, that's basically what we have right now. And we were able to kind of divvy it up where we've got tubing here. I kind of did specialty exhaust we don't use a lot. Aluminum we never use. Right here we got our square tubing, different flat straps, round things, and then, you know, whatever. We can divvy it up good, and I'm very happy with that. I just noticed it is past 6 o'clock. So guys, I'm gonna call it a day and head inside so we can get some family time in this evening. Let's get the old soggy gloves on here, guys. I say soggy because this rubber coating, well, don't let your hands breathe very well and they get nice and moist. Good moist morning to you. It's Redo Randy here, and we're gonna redo what we had going on here. Sink, whoop, out of here. Mainly, guys, I'm trying to figure out where we can store the sheet metal, and as you can see, this piece right here fits pretty good. Now this is a 10-foot piece of 18 gauge, and I cut her down the middle, so 5 foot a piece. Now if we get 4x8 sheets, that's what usually I get for our 1/4 inch or our 1/8 inch. We could cut it down the middle at 4 foot pieces. What I'm saying is that right there should be the longest piece of sheet metal we have, and it fits right there really good. And I don't know, I'm just having a hard time picturing slapping sheet metal in here just hanging off a wall all obnoxious. I kind of like it tucked in that corner so much that I'm willing to figure out a new plan for the sink. So we're not just gonna lean the crap there. We're gonna build some type of little divider racks to make our life a little bit easier, because we're just in the fabricating mood here. So, well, since we've got our metal rack supply here, let's see what material we want to use. For our bases, we're going to just use some regular old 2-inch angle iron. Nothing too fancy here. And I ain't really got the most solid plan in my head, but I've got an idea, kinda-ish. Let's go 15 inches. Hey Adam, you forgot your 30-footer here. I appreciate it. Well, we look like unprofessional around here. Round your corners. There's one. There's two. Professional. We are gonna have to anchor these to the ground, so I'm gonna mark 1 inch over and 1 inch back. We'll punch that. We'll have holes on the bottom, and I want that lip facing the outside. So if we're gonna set this one here with that lip facing that away, when we roll that up, we need to be marking our bottom side here. A little thoughtification in this situation. Hey, I got an idea. Why don't I get us a little workbench, huh? Drill them puppies out to 1/2 inch hole, and with them drilled, now obviously we're gonna anchor them to the concrete, and that's what's gonna hold them. I think I want them about 44 inches apart. Now we could put square tubing across there, but then we may be hitting it. I think something flat would be fine. And then we're gonna probably stub up square tubing as our dividers. So maybe we'll do, I don't know, just a piece of this 2-inch wide strap to shove them apart. We'll mark 6.5 and 8.5. That's because 7.5 is center, and that's 2 inches wide. So from center, we want to go 1 inch that away, 1 inch that away. Go! This thing is ready to weld. Did you see that? So ready to weld, it's trying to weld without me. Kind of trying to bend our strap flat, because the flat strap ain't flat. It's flat enough for where we're going though. All right, right there we got our basic layout of our frame. I realized a mistake I've made already. Don't worry about that, we'll just roll with the punches here. Probably bring our braces up, say 30 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4. We need roughly 4 of them. This should be about $1.20 if we cut her in half correctly. I'm actually gonna cut that at 29 and 13/16. And by the time we had the cut, or the thickness of the blade, a few of them, we should be able to squeeze out all 4 pieces. Maybe we get lucky here at the old Fab trailer. Good thing we took a little extra off and then go the full 30, because we would not have had enough material, but all these should match beautifully. Now 44 inches across is what we said, and there it is, inside to inside. So subtract 2 inches, and 42 inch is what we need. So we need pieces that run horizontal. Those will be our uprights. Now we need something going in between them. Got this piece here out our scrap barrel. And that end's not square, and that end's not square. Had that other smaller stick that was almost perfect to get our 2 pieces out of. We're not ending up with a whole lot of scrap here. Would sure be nice if someone had a nice big fancy welding table to lay out stuff like this. Nothing too fancy. I did slide that in about 1/8 inch on each side. That gave me a little place to weld like that real easy. And it should give us a little wiggle room for dropping it down between our frame over here. A little room, hell, what's going on here? Oh, dummy, 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 dummy. Why'd y'all let me do that? And did I tack it and check it? Oh no, just went for it. This is supposed to be on the outside of here to make up that extra 2 inches it needed. I knew better than that. Oh, so what do we do now? Because if we cut that out and then flip them, they're gonna look tacky. If we would have made them look tacky and just tacked it, they wouldn't be looking tacky now. All right, I guess I'm gonna plug in the slice and dice, cut these welds. We're gonna move it to the outside, weld them up, and then we'll put that one towards the back where you'll never see it, because when sheet metal's leaning on this, either way, you'll never see it. Here's a good lesson for you. Slow down sometimes. That's lesson number 1. Tack stuff, and then check it. That's lesson number 2. Do not have head up ass. That's lesson number 3. And lesson number 3 will get you pretty far in life sometimes. Oh, someone wanted their hiney whooped, huh? Well, guess what? I got free elbows right here all day. Maybe we'll check this one. Oh, hey, it fits like it's supposed to. I'm gonna just weld this one up and I'm gonna knock out the other ones too, guys. Now, a couple things I did not account for was that being picked up a little bit from that 1/8" strap across there, but guys, I'm not too concerned. Also, I just realized I cut 3 of them, but I only cut some, or 4 of our uprights, whatever, and that's because on this end, I actually wanted to put a shorter one that just kind of keeps stuff from falling. So right here, fresh out the scrap barrel, we got this piece. We're gonna lop off the end and cut her in half and just put us a little bit shorter hurdle on this end. Knocked out our little baby hurdle. Another thing I did not think about was that lip sticking up on our angle iron. So we had a scrap piece of angle iron over there like 31 inches long, which is almost perfect. So I cut it in half. Well, I cut it to 15-inch long pieces and turned it sideways. And that ain't gonna pick up the actual 2 inches because, well, that's making an uneven triangle. So I put our level across there, and between the bottom of the level and the top of that angle iron is right at a 1/4 inch. So I looked in our scrap metal cabinet, found this piece of 1/4 inch, and yeah, I'm just gonna cut 2 chunks out of it. We're gonna put the chunks on top of that strap, this on top of it, and weld it all together. Just kind of measured around and going out 14 5/8, and from there 14 5/8 makes it equal, where in between here is 14 5/8. Oh, that's perfect, guys, perfect. I made sure to center that up, front, back, side to side to our little mark there. So, that's awesome. I'm gonna weld this in, weld on our other one. She should be then good to go. Voila! There she is, not so much in all of her glory. I don't hate it. I'm not exactly in love with it. But this is one of them things where me personally, I could have spent 2 hours overthinking it, guys. And I just knew roughly if we started doing something like that, we can make something work. And I didn't go too over the top. I didn't even round our corners on that other piece of angle irons on the bottom, just on them ones that kind of stick up. We could have mitered our corners and went for 45s, but for no more we're doing, I think we're gonna just go sit this thing in the corner and see how it's gonna work out for us. And it surprisingly is not super duper heavy or nothing. Got a lot of thinner stuff. I guess all this is pretty well 1/8 inch thick. So I think we would do the thinner sheet metal along the wall. We're probably gonna have to move our power cord hook thing we done installed. It's part of being redo Randy. No, guys, this is just part of figuring out the shop. I know y'all just wanna see me clap my hands in it, but you know, just be a thing that happens instantly. But fortunately, it just ain't how it works. Now I got plenty of room that away to move all that sheet metal equipment down. And then this, we'll probably have to take that away, I guess. And before we anchor that sucker down, I want to try putting a sheet in and out of there. That does sit in there nice though, guys, so we know if we put anything to the left of that door along that wall, we need to make it something that's easy to move, like nothing heavy or permanent. And when we go to load this thing, or we need to get something out, we may have to move whatever there. Hey, y'all keep making racket out there. I'm trying to record. What I'm trying to say is, I think that'll work. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but Mr. Indecisive here, he's gonna full commit to this idea. We're gonna lock her down. Right into that fresh quick crate. She's El Permanente. Here we go, first sheet's going on. It's just beautiful, guys. It's beautiful. No, I'm not sad, guys. Those were tears of joy. Because, man, is Puddin's Metal Mania Corner starting to take shape. Let's kill our backs and carry the rest of that metal over here. Got 2 sheets here. So we got 3 sheets of that, but I got some more half sheets here. Like this piece we've cut off before. And like this piece we've cut on some more. Now, let me show you why I wanted to add them little angle iron pieces in the middle. Let's say you got a real small piece of scrap. Well, anything that's at least 14 inches wide should be able to sit on them and stay up off the ground, sitting here pretty even. So if we want to sit that there, well, we can sit that there. Next up, I'm gonna grab the 1/8 inch I have. I don't think I got a whole lot of it. Nope, we're about due for some more of this. That was ding-a-linging like when I ring my bell for Rupert. Rupert, bring me my bougie water. Rupert comes running with my Fiji high-end classy water. Hey, I'll knock my bougie water if you want it. I feel better since I started drinking that stuff versus the old cheapo purified whatever. And if you can justify spending the money on like Monster energy drinks and stuff like that, let's make you feel like crap. Get you some fancy water. You'll feel better. Let's not even talk about the money I used to spend on beer and how that makes you feel. So, yeah, y'all leave my bougie water alone. Makes me feel good. And I need all that hydration for when I'm manhandling this stuff by myself. Oh, there we go, guys. She's full. How to bring in old Sally Home Decorator. That's me. Yeah, before we, I think we're gonna use this little area here for some jack stands. I really like how this little corner turned out, guys. So I'm gonna hang up a few of our signs in here maybe. And yeah, she's gonna be complete. Bring in the old treasure chest. Talk about years in the making, guys. I bought these dimple dies. Holy crap. And dimple dies weren't as popular when I bought mine. I think I had to pay $800 for them. This was probably around end of 2014, beginning 2015. It's the 8-piece set from Swag Off-Road. That same thing now is like way cheaper. But as soon as I seen dimple dies, I was in love. I didn't have a shop. I had a buddy with one, but I went ahead and bought me a dimple die set. But for my going away gift when I got out of the Air Force, my buddies and whatever, they asked me what I wanted, and I told them I wanted a box for my dimple dies, because they didn't come with a box or nothing. And I was like, one day I'm gonna have a shop really set up how I want it, and I just want them dimple dies in a box. Now this is not what I had in mind, but they built me one hell of a treasure chest, and yeah, that houses my dimple dies. And since then I've got some of these other ones that we add in here now. 1/2 inch, 3/4, 1 inch. They got all the sizes on there for me and everything. And while I'm still grateful for that little shop that we're coming from, guys, when I said one day I'm gonna have a shop that's like the dream shop, and I'm gonna need those in a chest to keep them together. Well, this was the shop right here that I was picturing in my head a decade ago. So let's put the treasure chest where she rightfully belongs here at Puddin's Metal Mania Corner. Carrying that box in here got me a little sentimental just now. Yeah, good memories back then with those guys. I can't leave crap alone. I thought some car parts would look cool here too. All right, guys, I'm pretty well dying of thirst, dehydration, that's the word. By now, I've usually drank about a gallon of water, and I don't have any. Bill? Bill! Guys, it is Bill. What'd you do, leave 3 weeks ago to ride your bike out here? Everyone wants to know where you've been.
I left like 4 days ago.
Well, I'm glad you finally made it. That a long ride or what? Just playing, guys. Slick's here. we had his truck, kid. Yeah, we had Bill bring his bike just so we could do that little skit for you. Y'all have been concerned about Bill. Well, Bill knows that I've just been busy, guys. And he ain't
hot out too.
Yeah. Well, once it's peak heat, Bill's inside. But Bill's still alive. Bill is still always welcome here. Y'all wouldn't believe the speculations I've been getting about why Bill ain't here. I bet he has a DUI and he don't really have a car. In the videos I've rode in his cars he's driven, guys. No. You might think he's too goofy for your shop, but you don't realize he's part of my shop. Guys, he's not a movie prop. Bill's my friend. So yeah, I just used him as a movie prop for the video.
I go, well, we're just doing a movie prop?
Because we're friends, not just because I thought he was a goofy guy who randomly stops by or whatever. Me and Bill are friends, guys. He's always welcome here. And this is the first time he's seen this shop in a long time. It looks a lot different, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. This is the first time I've seen this part even when the door's open.
Yeah, and you see my little hidey room.
And picture, I thought that was pretty cool.
Hey, look at the old trash can to your left. Recycled it.
Oh yeah, hey, that's cool.
Yeah, better than lifting that sucker up as a trash can too. My back was tired of that. Bill's gonna check out the shop. Yeah, we're kind of joking around here, but I wasn't joking around about needing water. Usually by now I've smashed a gallon and I'm clean out here and I am struggling. So I'm headed to get some water, guys. Y'all know what happens when the boys get together. When the boys get together, stuff gets shady. Right now, we've got Operation Winch That Pepper Up commenced. Quick plan so y'all can understand what we're trying to do. I want it hanging between these because we need those open for our air conditioning ducting in the future. So we need something spanning from that rafter to that rafter where we can winch her up in the middle. Once we get her winched up, we'll then chain it to that rafter and that rafter. Our problem is we need something with about an 11-foot span. And we don't have a lot of stuff with 11-foot span. But we got some screws, an impact, and some scrap wood, and it'll work or it won't. We're gonna figure this out, guys. That pepper has to go. Since we're gonna extend it that way, I'm gonna say let's go to 140, which is 2 foot and 8 inches more than what we got. Just whip up your own 4x4 real quick, no big deal. Now all this wood was the leftover bull crap from all these projects, the stuff that's real twisted or bowed or curved. Not that you can tell or anything.
Maybe it'll straighten out with the chill.
It must be.
Yeah, when we put some weight on it, it'll.
This is a banana tree.
This is definitely gonna hold. All right, now we just need to get that up there. And I'm realizing we've got a toolbox in the way, so maybe we can roll it this way, because I don't think we're gonna be able to snake it out of there.
Yay! Don't worry about it slipping.
What I'm trying to figure out first is where could I actually even ratchet it to. That ain't going nowhere. No. We got a safety cord here. Worth a shot.
I'm fine.
In the box up here. I ain't never whooped an ass at 11 foot.
Can I get the buck special?
Now for snatch block, we're gonna take the old Apex 12-ton Tammy here, because that'll do the job. And we need to get a small piece of chain we can hang out the center. Should have that right in here. Small chain. Prepare the assembly. Have just enough chain to double wrap it. A 3/8 bolt would hold a small block Chevy, so why would it not hold a chili pepper?
Hey, there's a red hot chili pepper right here, buddy.
With our wall piece prepared, now we gotta prepare the pepper.
Get a little tighter.
No washers, no problem. So we took the rest of our chain from our 2 cut pieces. We're gonna wrap our eyelets where hopefully that don't slip them. But we gotta keep our eyelets free, so once we get her up there, we can actually mount this sucker to them chains. So that right there may be our winning combination, assuming those don't slip. They gonna slip, Bill? Nah.
That'll be fine.
I'm probably enjoying this way more than I should be. Do you want this in your hand?
Yeah, I
You
think
hit that in button and it'll winch up, you hit out, it'll winch down. Dang camera died just as soon as we got her picked up, but we got her hooked up. We got to get her kind of leveled out some, a little better.
Move the chain way over that way. Keep going.
Woo-hoo! The perfect balanced pepper. Let me take a picture of this. This is history.
It's a floating chili.
Look at it. Let me get on the ladder, that way if that pepper shifts and swings, I'll come straight off the ladder. That's what I was gonna say, that the weight of that plus that is picking up on that front end.
Shock the tire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you it moves it again. Let's. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna shift. Woo! Woo-hoo! I don't know if that snatch block fell.
I think it just moved there to this pulling that. See, before it was hanging pretty straight.
How's our end over there? Hanging over the beam.
We've got plenty. That 4x4 is not looking very happy. Give her a little more, Bill. Keep going.
A little more, like a touch.
Here, let me see that thing. I'll break it. You get out of there, Bill, just in case. My only concern now is if that 4x4 does snap, stuff's gonna go. That's about as high as she can go. Our cable crimps hitting the snatch block.
Yeah.
I wish it was higher than that. I would like to have it. Maybe if I hook up a chain and then I can pull, kind of pick it up that way.
And do one side at a time?
Yeah. Sure is far over there. Heat's coming in vicious today, guys. It just killed the camera in like 20 minutes. Battery, camera dead again. All right, lower her down a hair, Bill. Let's see what we're sitting with. So we gotta loosen up that end so the whole thing has enough slack to shift this way. So we need to pick her back up, get the weight off of it, get the weight back on the cable, give ourselves probably 8 to 10 inches of slack on that side. And then we're gonna ratchet strap around that eyelet and suck it that away. We're gonna get it figured out, guys. I think we've got it now. At least we've got chains on it, so it makes me feel a lot better about it. You like it?
Yeah, I tied your chain up.
There we go. OSHA called. Never heard of it. Joke's on them. That's only if you have employees. I don't pay nobody.
Whoa!
That's one way to do it.
Oh, that's the ceiling.
I didn't mean to drop it.
No! Oh!
That's gonna come down. That's the problem. With the grace of a gazelle.
Grace of a gazelle.
Well, that was an adventure. That's a lot of work. Over 3 hours getting a pepper hung up, guys. Looks cool. I'm glad we did it. Who else has a hot rod pepper hanging from them rafters? Now, them chains, as you can see, are pulling side to side. A little tricky. We should have planned on where we were gonna hang this originally, and then we could have tried to adapt our eyelets to it. Now, that's not just fiberglass, guys. Inside there's a full metal frame, and that's what them eyelets actually go in. So if you're worried about that ripping out or whatever, big old beefy metal frame in there, that's fiberglassed all over and attached. I don't think we're gonna have a problem. If we ever did have a problem, we could weld in a piece from there to there and then just hang the chain straight down. We'll cross that bridge if we ever get there. Slick and old Bill, they had cut out, I don't know, 30 minutes ago or so. And I just kind of been cleaning again, guys. I can put trash, just clean up. This area over here, I went ahead and added us another sign or a hubcap. This old torch I was cleaning up, I found it in our Model A crank. So I thought they'd be cool there. And I went ahead and I had that little men's sign, so I just stuck it there. And then I started picking up this side of the shop some. And I'd like to put the toolbox back, but I want to get this out of here too. The trailer is finally empty. So let's pull this sucker out of here. That's always easier said than done. Just pull it out real quick. The tow rolling lifts. Whoever parked it for me had left the key on. Oh yeah, I knew this junkyard was gonna be fun. Should be kinda close in there. Oh, that was pert near perfect. Yeah, we had to get something that could tow that trailer because that old 3/4 ton can barely handle it. Barely even squatted it. This thing will do double the work of that 3/4 ton, so what's that make her, 1.5 tons? Just gonna have to swing her a little wide here. Little rubbing never hurt back there, don't worry about that. Y'all didn't know I was the king of the mountain? Found it! I'm trying to get this in our jack, but yeah, it's a little low. Don't worry, just if it's too low, pick it up. Figure right there next to the premium parking is a good spot for our trailer, about where our gravel ends. The privacy fence will come out there, so I bet that hill's still gonna block the view of that. It'll kind of be out of sight. Perfect spot. That wasn't even originally planned, that just kind of worked out. Now the real question is, will she climb it with no trailer on? Yeah, of course she will, like nothing. We're gonna let that baby run so her battery can charge back up. Here's a sweet moment, guys. Hey, come on, come on, come on. Got! Stuck them good. Here's a sweet moment. Getting the lower lift down, no more pepper hanging from it. Have I mentioned it gets toasty in this shop? One last item on this side that I want to do something with, and that's old Trusty here. And old Trusty is gonna be our main source of air until we get an awning built out there where Big Yellow can get hooked up and plumbed in. So I'm gonna huff this thing up these stairs somehow. Oh, yeah, that's what I was worried about. Can't even roll it. Yeah, right. There's absolutely no position I can pick that up. Not without dying. I'll set it right there because next week they're gonna be doing the ducting for the AC. And we'll have to move that, so when I have a helping hand here, we're gonna huff it up to right here, and we're just gonna hook it up to right here for now. And then that way it's running up there, we won't have to hear it as much, and it'll kind of be out the way. This side of the shop's looking pretty good. One thing we may do real quick, move the refrigerator. Move the fridge there, not super happy with that. In fact, I had a blonde moment where I planned on bringing it right here. Now I know that's uneven. I was gonna build a platform, was kind of my idea. Not right now, just a little mock-up. And so for some reason I thought I had outlets here. And I only have light switches. That's probably because my brain's cooked and done working for the day. And I ain't doing very good thinking. I don't even know if that's proper English. But man, we get a beautiful sunset here to watch. Guys, I promise I'm chipping away. Y'all see me out here just trying to turn this into my, not trying guys, I'm loving how it looks. Each week I think I can get more done than I can get done. And I kind of mocked about it throughout the video, but really I'm actually having a lot of fun setting this shop up. I tell you, week after week, this is what's making it the dream shop. I know some of y'all won't understand why I would be willing to spend half a day to hang a pepper, but because when I first seen that pepper on Facebook Marketplace a year ago for 400 bucks, I pictured it with flames hanging in my shop. And look, boom, there it is. I don't know, that corner, man, it looks sweet. I added a few more little details to it as I continue to sweep up and clean up some of this. I want to get this area clean where we could kind of stand back and y'all could get an eyeball on it. I went ahead and threw up another license plate and a thermometer. I don't know if y'all had seen that yet. I can't remember. But all I know is the old metal market corner looks pretty damn awesome. We got our metal fab table put together. That's kind of a big deal. Definitely worth half the day there. I've always wanted one. And I don't want to be splattering MIG weld on there. So hopefully that'll force me to do some more TIG welding as we move forward. And you can kind of start to see this side will clean up and lay out. I still got some figuring to do over here and some sorting, but we are getting super duper close now. And I feel like I say that every week, but part of the dream shop, guys, that's just it. I've been distracted all week behind the scenes. I don't know how well this will pick it up from over here, but you can see that we have we had some grading going on around here. he's not happy with the work because everything's so dry. He said he'll kind of do what he can to clean it up, but we need some rain desperately here, guys. So I don't know, it's supposed to rain next week. We'll see how all that kind of goes. But making decisions on how we want this, that is all factored in because, you know, we're trying to decide on a pool and we can't make up our mind on exactly how we want to set that all up. I want to make a decision where we don't backtrack, but I think we're just, I don't know, too much going on and no decisions are really being made. We are working on a new fence. As much as I love them building that house there and just being able to look over here and see exactly what we're doing, I want some type of fence between us. I'm a good neighbor, I'm nice, but guys, I'd rather work. So I'm not the neighbor who just wants you to come over and hang out and dwell around. In fact, it's close to 7 o'clock. I told my wife to be ready at 6 o'clock, and she called me at 6:30 and was like, "You do know you told me to be ready at 6, right?" I know. We were supposed to even go decide on some paint colors today before that place closed, and well, that didn't happen. Also my fault, because I would much rather chip away at the dream shop. I just noticed we had some flames there and we got some flames there. The shop is turning out flames, guys. It's fire, all right? I'm freaking pumped about it. I'm so thankful to you guys for supporting it. I know, like I said, I kind of joked about some of y'all wanting me to fab or do some car stuff. This thing has been such a mess that it really would not be a good idea. All it would do is actually be counterproductive because you can see what happens. Well, I'm leaving everything a mess because it don't really have its home spot right now. And yeah, that would just create more work down the road. So we just got to stay building the dream shop. And 90% of y'all, I think, are enjoying this content. And that's all I'm saying. I can't thank you guys enough for supporting, for watching. A lot of y'all said you got some good ideas from some of the stuff I've been doing. Well, I really hope this one helps y'all, because this, guys, I know we're in the bigger, fancier shop. And I know some people are heartbroken or whatever, don't like seeing it move forward and progress, and I get that, but this is what I've always dreamed of, and it's what was gonna happen in my life at some point. And so this, though, I mean, y'all seen that was all just metal I've had. That was our old trash can, for crying out loud, and that's just some angle iron and 1x1, and look how much I cleaned up our metal mess. In fact, I made it look good, like you enjoy looking at this metal. And yeah, that's kind of, it reminded me of some of the old shop kind of stuff, because one, we took what we had and we built racks and they turned out badass. And then we had some sketchy stuff going on. I mean, we had some 2x4s to 4x4s to snatch block and chain, winching, moving trailers. I mean, hey, if that don't remind you of the good old days of Puddins Fab Shop, I don't know what will, okay? Yeah, good week here, good progress. I can't thank you guys enough for coming back, supporting this small town kid's dream of having a shop like this, coming back and watching, supporting through puddins.fab.shop, buying that merchandise, keeping me and my family fed, growing, motivated, thankful, and everything else, grateful, however you could describe how much I appreciate this to you guys. I don't know enough words because I suck at English. But I'm on the Instagrammer. I'm on the Patreon. I could ramble on thanking you guys for another 20 minutes, but I better ramble my booty to that house. And yeah, we got soccer tomorrow and other stuff. I get to be a dad this weekend. I'm excited because our weeks are so busy. I love the time with the kiddos on the weekend. I will see you guys next time. Do not forget, sitting on your ass won't finish your project. Just like hanging peppers won't get your shop organized faster. But it'll sure make your shop look sweet when you got that old pepper flying high. Pepper, we salute you. Gotta get my tripod.